Hi guys, welcome to part 2. So we're busy creating our horizontal bar chart. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a new chart and then configure the properties. So we'll actually now be using the chart.js library. So we say var horizontal bar chart equals new chart. We pass in the context and then we add the properties. The first property will be the type, and then we're going to say horizontal bar for our horizontal bar chart, and then the data that we're going to specify will be as follows. We're going to add a label. So the labels will be our labels vector that we created with a list of suburb names, and then we're going to add our data sets, which will be our y values, which will be our consumption value. We're going to add a label for our data set, which we'll just call water, and then we add a background color, which will be the color of our chart. We're gonna make it dark green, and we're gonna add an opacity of 60%, so that will be 40% transparent. And then we're gonna add a border color, which will also be dark green but with no transparency. And then we add our data, which is a vector of our consumption values, which we stored in data array. Okay, and now we're going to add a comma, and then we're going to add additional options to our chart for styling our chart. And then the first property that we're going to add is scale show values. We're going to set that to true, and then we're going to set our scales. First, we're going to start with our y-axis. We're going to add ticks to our y-axis, and we're going to tell it to begin ticking from 0. We say begin at 0 is true. Then we're going to add our x-axis, and we're going to add ticks for our x-axis, and we're going to say auto skip is false. We're going to begin at 0 as well, true. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a semicolon to close off our chart. Then we add a comma. The next thing that we're going to add is an error handler. So we close off our success handler for our Ajax call. So now we're going to add an error handler for our Ajax call, and the error message will be stored in our data variable. So if the response was not successful, the error message will be stored in the data variable, and then once we receive that error, we're going to display that error in a pop-up window. So we say alert, which creates a pop-up window that will display the error. Okay, so that's complete, and then we save, and then we go to the top, of our function declaration, and then we're going to call the function. Copy the function name. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up our terminal in the right pane, and then activate my virtual environment. And then I'm going to run my Python server. So now I'm going to open up my web browser. And then I'm going to type in localhost and locate port 8000. Okay, and there we can see that our chart is displayed inside our bar chart legend. So now we can see our top 10 consumers that are sorted in descending order, and that marks the end of this video. And thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys managed to get everything working correctly. So as you can see, we have created the smart map application in Python and Django. And thanks for following along. I'll see you guys later.